Man, so man, okay. Time goes on, man, and I mean U.G.K becomes household names.
Right.
You know, Pimp goes to jail, gets out, and
Mm-hmm.
they bigger than ever.
Right.
Talk about that, man, because you were in a smoking eye pulling up in the
Yeah, that
video with
video.
Pimp. Yeah.
You know, I was working at the Texas Youth Commission at the time. Uh, he called me and he was like, "Say, Mitch, I'm gonna be on Short, Texas. You know, shooting this video with Boom, man. Won't you come through?"
When you say Short Texas, because is that a street or is this
Yeah,
like a?
it's a street.
Okay, it's called
Yeah,
Short.
well, it's not called Short, Texas. It's called Texas, but the street itself is real short. It's the shortest street in Port Arthur,
Hmm.
so that's why we called it Short, Texas.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, he hit me up. I said, okay, shit, I'll get off at 3. I'll meet you out there. And, did what we did, you know what I'm saying? I knew that it was going to be a great shoot because, Boom was doing the video.
So this really coming full circle. You got
Oh,
Boom, who
yeah.
been down since
Yeah.
the '80s. You got Pimp, you there. You know what I mean? Bun is on the
Mm-hmm.
song. It's yeah.
So, I mean, Chad really wanted to keep the nucleus of everything together as much as he possibly could, especially when he was in PA. When he was out in ATL, it was a little bit different because, you got all the music industry out there in ATL and you got all these people, that you've always wanted to fuck with and see, and now you seeing them. You're not really thinking about home right now. You feeling yourself in ATL and you a goddamn star yourself to these people. Now, you yourself, hey, I'm just Chad
So
Butler.
he was always Pimp. He was always I'm just Chad.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he if I tell you like this, if he knew you was a genuine cat, you was gonna get Chad. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he thought you was fraud and felt you was fraud,
You gonna get
you gonna get pimped. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wasn't ready for pimp. You know what I mean? So the
Pimp
niggas,
was more live. Chad was more reserved.
yeah, Chad was like I say the laid back mild mannered cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pimp was, I'm not fixing to bite my tongue for shit nobody. I'm going to tell you what it is and how it is, how I feel, and fuck you if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And he really got that, man, from me one time. I mean, it was a story. When we was in high school, these goddamn, this preacher and his son, our choir director made a mistake and put us in the same room with these motherfuckers. And Chad and I, man, we didn't go nowhere without our equipment. We stayed with the drum machine, the keyboard, and the 4-track. Say shit, man, we gonna get in this room. We in Austin. We at State for choir. Me and him was always in choir. We was always state competition, man.
Yeah.
He was the first freshman to ever make a one in a solo.
Hmm.
But anyway, we there, we trying to get ready to do our thing, and we playing our music. We ain't thinking nothing of them. No curse words, mind you, none of this shit. But this man gonna tell us, man, that's the devil's music. Cut it off. Man, I went smooth the fuck off on that preacher, man. And I I ain't gonna say his name, but if he ever hear this, he know who the fuck I'm talking about. I went smooth off on his ass. Say, man, look, I don't worship no devil. I believe in God. You're not gonna tell me what I'm doing is the devil's music. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you.
Hmm.
It's just like that. What did you tell me, son? I said, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to tell me I worship the devil. That's the devil's music, man. No. And Chad was like, calm down, man. No, fuck that, Chad. He going to tell I say, I know what to do. I walked out the room, slammed the door, went to my choir director. I say, man, Miss Cole, that's her name. Miss Cole, this man just called me and Chad some devil worshipers. We worshiping the devil with our music. We have got to get out of this room.
Mm.
I'm not fit to stay in the room with these people. Man, she came out of her pocket and got us a room in that hotel. You know what I'm saying? Just because of that. And, I'd never seen Chad lose his cool. But for him to see me go off like that on the preacher, I know he was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to stand up for our shit at some point in time, and that's where he got it from. I swear that's where he got it from.
Hmm. Man, okay.
Yeah, man.
Man,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
man.
man.
You got any more just Pimp C stories, man? Just
Man,
things.
I could talk about my brother all day long.
Hmm.
Just I mean, a lot of people saw that persona and didn't really know him. You know, uh, he was always thinking about family, thinking about the people that he loved. Even when he would be in ATL, he would hear me say, "Hey, Mitch, what's going on? How you doing? I'm just letting you know I'm all right. I'm gonna be on deck. You know what I'm saying? Such and such. I'll be in PA. I'm gonna holler at you. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no persona. With me and him. Even though he would be in his zone. On his shit. Every now and then, and he would try to be fly and all that shit with me. And I'm like, nah, nigga, don't try that with me. You know what I'm saying? Be Chad, nigga.
When you say be fly, what you mean? Just more
I
something.
mean, as he would be, with other people.
Yeah.
He feeling himself, on whatever he on, and he get into that mode, and other people would be around, and I would be there also. So instead of me getting Chad, I would get Pimp because of the other people around. I'm like, nah, man, don't no, don't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And he done it a few times, but he would also come back and apologize.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the kind of cat he was. If he was wrong, and he may not see he wrong at the time, but when he go back and he think about it, he'd be like, hey, Mitch, hey man, I apologize for whatever, blah 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 blah. I'm like, man, it's cool. I'm not gonna ever look at you no different than who you are, and that's Chad Butler. Pimp. I knew what Pimp was. I knew where it came from. I knew what it grew from. You know what I'm saying? That seed was planted because people continued to fuck over him. So you have to
It becomes
put
a
on
defense mechanism, kind of.
a
Yeah.
mask, if
Yeah.
you will. You know what I'm saying? That's just like in one of the songs on my first album. I call it "Writing Checks That Your Behind Can't Cash." I'm talking about people putting masks on just to protect themselves from people that's trying to do them harm. You know what I mean? And he did that very well. Because a lot of people, like I say, they didn't know what they was gonna get. Cause he'll size your ass up in a minute to see which one he gonna give you. And that's straight up, man. Now with the women, he would be like, sometimes he'd be like, now what you want? You want Chad or you want Pimp?
Hmm.
Most of them he already knew what to give them. Most of them they got Pimp. But like the baby mamas and shit, and a few here and a few there, they got the real deal. And like I said, man, it wasn't nothing fraud about him. He just, like I said, that mask is what he had to put on every now and then to protect himself and to protect, his best interests. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, talk about Pimp passing away, man, because it was just a real like random thing, man. Like,
Well, of course, that was a bitter pill to swallow. Uh, I wasn't expecting. No, I don't believe anybody was expecting it, but I believe that he knew something was getting ready to happen.
Hmm.
A couple of weeks before he passed, he called me to his house, and Edgar had barbecued. That's his photographer, Edgar Walker. He had barbecued, and he called me. I'm at the house with my wife, and he hit me up and say, "Hey, Mitch, what you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm just getting ready to go out to eat with Felice. What's going on?" He say, "Man, I need to holler at you." I said, "Okay, well, shit. After I come from eating with my wife, I come on through." And he say, "Nah, man, I need to talk to my real friend." So I had never heard him talk like that. So I said, "Okay, let me holler right back at you." So I hung up the phone. I looked at the phone for a few seconds, and I looked at my wife. I said, "Chad just said some shit he ain't never said before to me." And I told her what he said, and she was like, "Well, go ahead." She didn't even question it. So I went over there, and we sat and we talked about quite a few things, man. I had gotten married in '99, and he had missed the wedding. And I felt some kind of way about that because DJ Bird told me the real reason why he missed the wedding. He didn't want to tell me the truth, but Bird told me,
Hmm.
and he ended up telling me the truth that night. And just a lot of things, man. We talked about the U.G.K thing because, of course, at the time I was fucking with DMD because he was in ATL. Him and Bun was in ATL. So what was I to do? I had to get down with something if I'm, still call myself rapping. So, he was like, cause I had a group called the Bud Brothers, which that's another story too. But Superb Herb, man, he rest in peace. And I were the Bud Brothers, and I was trying to make a name for us with that, and Chad came up with that name. And he was telling me, "Man, Mitch, you ain't no goddamn Bud Brother. You an underground king." I say, "Well, shit, nigga, I know that." You know, but at the same time, I have to try to make a name for myself because I don't want it to ever look like I'm riding a wave or trying to ride a wave. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know you and Bun as UGK. People didn't know the history of UGK yet at this point in time. So I'm telling him like, "Hey man, I gotta try to make my own goddamn name in this thing." You say, "But man, you are UGK, nigga. We wouldn't be doing none of this shit if it wasn't for you." I say, "Yeah, that's true." I say, "But God had another plan, and He did what He was supposed to do." I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff, man. Trying to go back to the sound of the Southern way, and getting back in the studio, me and him doing a special project. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Man, Mitch, you don't want to fuck around with this music shit, man. This is some evil shit going on in this industry." And I was like, "Yeah, I know it's some fucked up shit going on, but this is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick to it until it happens." And he was like, "Well, damn, okay, well, shit. If that's what you want to do, man, Because at the time he had the pad on in Port Arthur on Jimmy Johnson, the Mini Mansion. And he had a studio in his house. He hadn't set it up yet, but he had a studio now. And he said, "Well, this is where we gonna do your album at, right here." So we talking about the future and things that he want to do, and you know, he was playing the Eagles, uh, Hotel California. And I look, I'm like, I didn't know you liked the Eagles, man. You never told me you liked the Eagles. Like, yeah, I jam. They got some jamming shit, man. You need to, listen to some of their shit. So he kept playing Hotel California over and over and over. At the time, I didn't understand. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm eating barbecue, smoking, just enjoying the vibe, enjoying him because I hadn't seen him in, about a month or so. So, just a weird feeling, man, being in that house. And it was me, him, his wife Shanara, and his little girl. Just a weird feeling, man. And I didn't understand why I was having that feeling, And we ended up sitting there eating off the same damn tray and shit,
Hmm.
and sipping Patrons, taking shots of Patron and shit, smoking. He was still on paper, so he wasn't doing no smoking. But he was doing his sipping. He was saying, "Man, I'm just gonna get me a trainer and start working out and all this shit." I say, "Man, please, you ain't worked out a day in your life. You ain't supposed to do no working out." He started laughing. I say, "Man, that ain't you." Say, but you can cut back some on that food, nigga. You been eating your ass off. He gaining a lot of weight, coming out of prison and everything, So, it was a good night, man. I guess I sat there about 5 hours and left in a good mood, you know. And 2 weeks later, man, nigga was gone.
Hmm.
You know, he called me a week before he passed, and he had just heard Kim's new album had just came out, and he was digging that, and Jay Z Original Gangster album that
American
came out.
Gangster, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah, American Gangster, there you go.
mm-hmm.
And he was tripping off the Marvin Gaye track that he had sampled.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we had done some shit to that a while back, and he was tripping on that sample. And he was like, "Mitch, man, about 2 weeks I'll be there. I'll be on deck. I'ma holler at you."
Never
No,
happened.
no, it didn't happen, bro. You know, this day though now, you know, I know exactly why he was playing that song. I know now.
Why you say that? You think he anticipated what was gonna happen?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and he was trying to tell me
He had some
without
issues
telling
with
me.
some people, or what?
I don't know if it was issues with certain people, but when you start talking about the agenda and the way music was going, and you speak out on it, on the interviews he was talking about a lot of shit that a lot of MCs wasn't gonna speak on, you know. Well, I could talk about it, man. The faggotry and shit that's going on in this shit now. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking agenda. It's clear as day now. But you think about the time that he had started talking about it, and then you have to think about the time he spent in prison and the things that he read, the things that he learned. His eyes was open when he come out that motherfucker. So when you start talking about certain agendas and certain things, and you don't have the proper protection, things happen. Who did what? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know it wasn't just no goddamn coincidence.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna tell me that that boy just ended up gone just out of the blue. That's bullshit. You know. Talking about he died from this and died, man. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? This man sipped that shit. He knew what the fuck he was doing. You know what I mean? But this what you gonna say? This what he died from? Now, mama, before she passed, she told the truth about that boy didn't die from that shit. She said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah,
So
in Julia Beverly's book, she kind of hinted around
yeah,
to some
but
things.
she
Yeah,
didn't want to tell the whole enchilada, cause she know she would have been in the line of fire. That's why a lot of things I wouldn't want to just put out there, man, because you have to think about your loved ones and your family. Now that the shit is all out in the open and you see what's going on, that when they show you this shit on TV and they put it on TV in your fucking face, you can talk about it, but it's still like Ice-T. One of his coldest albums was Freedom of Speech, but watch what you say. You don't think he knew about that shit way back when he was coming up? You fucking right he knew about it.
yeah, yeah.
But he wasn't fisting to rock his boat and then fuck up his rap money and his acting money. He wasn't fisting to do that. It wasn't time to talk about that shit. Now people can talk about it, but still in all, when you look at it, people get offended because they want to be accepted. But they want to be accepted for the wrong thing. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live, and I never will. Because we all sin and we was born into this shit. But at the same time, what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. You can't make wrong right unless you flip it and make it right all the way. You can't make a motherfucker accept you and you know what you doing is wrong and you want to try to make me accept your wrong? Fuck that. No, that ain't how that shit's supposed to go, man. You stand up for something or you'll fall for anything. And that's what I've always done, man. I will tell the truth, and I have to tell the truth. I have to live with myself when I go home. I have to have a clear conscience when I go to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? I can't bullshit my way through it and be like, nah, bitch, you better not say that now. If I have to say it and God say go on say it, well, I know if he say go on say it, I'm protected by the best. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about it. But it is fucked up out here, man.
Yeah.
It's just like your boy said, get down and lay down. What's your boy name?
Benny Siegel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's what he was talking about. He showed it to you in a gangster movie. But even in the second one, they showed that boy doing that boy wrong in the bathroom. He's showing you what the fuck is going on. They showing you. What they say, art imitates life?
Yeah.
Or the other way around,
Yeah.
life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, man. They been showing us for years the shit that they've been planning. And now it's coming to fruition.
Yeah.
But Chad, man, he wanted to tell the truth. But if he would have said everything, the whole industry would have changed. And their agenda would have been fucked up. And they could not allow their agenda to be fucked up because you fucking up billionaires' money that you don't see. The people that run the industry, you don't see them motherfuckers.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So that's why I'm like, man, don't fuck with them people. Stay independent, learn the game. Because there's too many ways to skin this cat now. You ain't got to go running to them people and say, hey, give me the money, please, please, please. And then you see the goddamn acts, they go out there and they get all these little short choker chains on. Come on, man, you look like a broad. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. You ain't never seen no real MCs with no choker chains on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just being real, man. I ain't talking about
Yeah,
nobody.
Go ahead.
And
Yeah.
I ain't talking about nobody. I ain't dissing nobody. I'm just saying the agenda of what these people got going on. This is not the way this shit's supposed to be. You know, it's hard for me to look at what I love to do, this hip hop shit now, man, and be proud of it. Because they done took it, misconstrued it, turned it all the way around back again, and now you want us to accept this shit? That's why they always get these youngsters, man, so they can get in their mind and fuck their head up. Most of them don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Because of the industry, not because they're stupid, not because they're dumb.
Just being young and programmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's pre-programming, the TV, everything, the music. You know what I mean? You hear all this shit on the radio, everything talking about sex, everything talking about dope, or this, or that, the other. And the kids hearing this shit. So you expect the kids to be some perfect citizens now?
Yeah.
And they listening to WAP?
Feeding them that grown shit. Yeah, you feeding them. Yeah.
They listening to WAP?
Yeah.
And okay, you a parent, but if your kid know how to get on YouTube, you ain't gonna always be around. They gonna hear that shit. I like the song. I'm a fucking adult. I'm supposed, okay, that's what it is. 2 Live Crew. You know what I'm saying? We can go back further than that. Rudy Ray Moore. You know what I mean? Blowfly. They did dirty raps. You know what I mean? Choice from Rap A Lot. She did the shit.
But everybody couldn't get their hands on that though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was still taboo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Millie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's been here. They been peddling it. But now, ain't no more privacy. And, you know, it's out there. You know? This goddamn movie Cuties that they got on Netflix. Showing these little girls twerking and shit, between 8 and 10 years old.
I saw something about
what
that.
The
Yeah,
fuck?
That's crazy.
Come on, man. Any man that's a real man and got a daughter that's young, you don't want them to see that shit.
Yeah.
Because they gonna think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing? Fuck no, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. But the people that made the song don't give a fuck. They want their money. To them, it's a sacrifice. To them, they be like, well, you need to be watching your kids. You know, if you watching your kids and they shouldn't be listening to this adult content. Come on, man. When we was younger, I snuck and listened to Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Millie Jackson. Come on, man. If it's there, we gonna get to it.
Facts.
And we didn't have no goddamn social media then.
Yeah. You couldn't pull that up on your phone. You had to go find the real thing.
Exactly.
You had to get your hand on that.
Exactly my point. Now that everything is on social media, it's no censorship anymore. It's no privacy anymore. It's right there in your face. Now you either gonna do one or two things. You're gonna be a good parent and keep your kids off of that shit, or you gonna give them the green light to be on that shit, and they gonna get hold to it. That TikTok shit, man. Oh, man. Fuck these little kids up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And this sex trafficking shit, that's another story, man. But look, I say all that to say this. This is what the man was getting at. This is what he was seeing. And this is the shit that he really wanted to talk about. But he couldn't. And he started talking about it and see what happened to him. So now you can understand more of what happened to him. Not necessarily who did what.
But what was the cause? What was the reasoning? What was the real? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, and some people like to play it safe. Can't be mad at that. Some people don't have to go out there and actually say that and mean that and be like, that's what it is. You know, you want us to see your reality and accept your reality. But why you can't accept my reality?
Yeah.
You know, if it's about acceptance, then accept it, you know, and let's just agree to disagree. If you don't agree with my point and I don't agree with your point, I will agree to disagree with you. I'm not going to be mad at you because that's the lifestyle you choose. But let's just agree to disagree and
Yeah.
move on
Yeah. Yeah.
and learn from each other because we learn more from each other's differences than we do our
Facts.
similarities.
That's a fact.
We didn't
That's a
bother
fact.
you. If you know you in the closet, whatever you hate, you do your thing on your own time. But everybody is living their life in front of cameras now. And to be seen or accepted, the person has to go to extremes now. For whatever it is, it's extremes. You go through all these extremes. You got people, you know, on social media, you know, blowing their brains out in front of people, but then they come right back around and tell you that they edited the shit and it was fake.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these extremes that people going through. You got people filming themselves trying to break into ATMs because they want likes and they want to be accepted as such and such and such and such. None of them are being themselves and who they are. None of them. It's all a facade. And they hide behind, I mean, these masks, I mean, that's just the perfect shit that's going on, man. These goddamn masks, man. I mean, it's such bullshit, you know. But you think about it. When you go some places, man, you may have known somebody for about 10 years. They put a fucking mask on. You may not know who they are in the store.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? People hiding their identities for whatever reason. And the mask shit is just perfect. You know, okay, now the people that really want to hide and need to hide, they can hide behind the fucking mask. What you hiding for? When everything is out in the open anyway, what are you hiding for? You know? It don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you want to be accepted, but you hiding.
Yeah.
Now that everything is out in the open, and you know, people think that they can, okay, well, I'm this and I'm that. But then being this or that come with an explanation. Now you got this, okay, since you living your life out in the media now, what's the explanation for that? Some people not ready to give the explanation. You know, that's one thing I can say about Chad and Bun. They are who they are. And they never tried to hide that. When you yourself and you being yourself and you being 100 with people, that's what people come to expect. When you putting on a front for people all the time, and especially if you start off like that, you start off putting on that front,
Yeah.
you're going to have to end up putting on that front. That's
Yeah.
how you going to, if you start fronting, you're going to have to end fronting. You know what I'm saying? That's just like when I worked at TYC. You can't go in being soft and then try to be hard with these little niggas. They going to see that a mile away.
Yeah.
All they got is time to peep you out. You know what I'm saying? You got to stun on it like a rock when you get there. And when you do that and you show that, you might get some resistance, but they're going to respect you because you showed who you really were.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you come into it trying to be friendly and friendly Dan with them, they going to use your ass, manipulate your ass, and you a grown motherfucker. And they 13, 14, 15 years old manipulating 30, 40-year-old people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sad, but that's that, like I say, that's that front. You know what I mean? You can't front, man. I'd rather be who I am and let a motherfucker make their assessment than to front like I'm somebody else. I ain't never had to put on no motherfucking mask. That's just not me. I'm not good at being somebody I ain't.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Even if I create the goddamn character myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, because I'm like, okay, if I gotta create it, then that mean that ain't me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shit.
yeah. So man, okay, you had mentioned at the time, you were working with DMD when you were last speaking with Pimp.
Yeah.
Do you still like see DMD around now? Y'all still doing music or?
I hadn't seen D in a few years, man.
Hmm.
The last time I seen D, we were doing the Netflix thing, hip hop
Oh,
evolution
Evolution, yeah, yeah,
shit,
yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and I did a I did a great interview for that series, but I didn't make the cut for whatever reason. Bun and D and Bird, they showed Bird once or twice for a few seconds, but for the most part, it was Bun and D. Uh, Leroy was there that day. I was there. D, Bun,
Leroy. Was
Leroy White.
that one of his engineers or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, his engineer. Okay, I read
Uh huh.
about him in the
Yeah.
book. Okay,
Leroy, man.
so he's still around.
Oh
See,
yeah.
I want to come out to PV, man, and meet all these people and get these different stories because I've heard about Leroy, right? I done heard about DJ Bird.
Yeah.
I heard about you, of course. You know what I mean? DMD and of course, Mr. Boomtown doing the video
Man, when you
things.
get ready to come out there,
I
just
want to
let
come
me
out there,
know ahead
man.
of time.
Yeah,
All the people that you want to get in touch with, you know, I can touch them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever you ready, just let me. Hey, Mitch, man. I'm thinking about coming down to PA in a week or two. Get the crew together, let them know I'm coming. That ain't no problem, man.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to see short Texas. I mean, I'll, you know what I mean? Just,
Oh yeah.
all that,
Now
man.
whatever you feel like you want to do in PA, it's all good, man. You know what I mean? You want to go on Texas, it's all good. It changes. A lot of the buildings that were there aren't there anymore. But
Hurricane came through there and come missing.
hurricanes just change. Period. But it's still there. The street is still there. And you can do your assessment of what's going on there now.
Is Pimp Sanjak house and all that still there?
Oh no, they tore his house down.
No shit.
Yeah, they tore it down. His mom's house is still there, but nobody has done anything to it since Harvey came through and ravished it. Of course, the looters then went through and took all they could take out the motherfucking house. You know, uh, when Chad Jr. and his wife, they had to get rescued out of that house, man. They was walking in
Chest out.
chest
Man.
high water coming out that motherfucker.
Damn.
So he really couldn't save much, man. I mean, it's crazy how natural disasters and time can change things in the blink of an eye, man.
All that history just washed away that quick.
And I mean, when I say history, bro, I mean just the things that were in that house. All of that shit was there when I first went to his house years and years ago. Pool table, boom box, some of the old jewelry that me and him had that we bought from New York when we went to New York. Uh, Albums, tapes, glasses. I mean, anything you can think of, man. when I first stepped foot in that house, all that shit was there,
Hmm.
you know. And for natural disasters to come back and wipe all that shit away, man, it gives you uh, a different perspective of how natural disasters really do change things. Like Lake Charles now. Just about all the Lake Charles
It's bad out there,
places, man,
man. Yeah.
all of the places, the restaurants, all the liquor stores that had been there for years and years, and mom and pop stores, man, that people, man, all of that shit is gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's just at the blink of an eye, man. So you wonder like, well, see, God say He gonna come in the blink of an eye. You ain't gonna. I mean, that's really what this shit is.
Hmm.
Shit changes that fast, man. It really does change that fast. It really makes you respect time, the time that we actually have here, man. You know what I
Once it's
mean?
gone, you don't get it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't
Yeah.
have a memory of it,
Yeah.
you can't even recreate it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing. That's why I was so glad that a lot of the music that we have and the music that we've done over the years, I was able to preserve. A lot of it I wasn't, because I would have all the shit, and then Chad would be like, "Man, somebody stole my tape, man. I need a copy of that." I said, "Okay, man," and I make a copy, I make another copy, and then 2-3 months, man, Mitch, man, they done got me again. I had my glove compartment locked, man. They done broke in my glove compartment, man. I said, "All right, man." And then at the time, I may not have no time to make a motherfucking dub,
Give them the
so I give
original.
them the original, and then you know what happened to that. Oh man, I lost so much music behind shit like that. But I still do have a lot of shit. I look at it as the shit that I lost wasn't supposed to be brought to light. There was a moment in time.
Hmm.
But the things that I do have, I have, I could say this, what I'm getting ready to put out, people are really gonna dig it.
Hmm.
They're gonna see exactly where we were going with the Southern Way and Too Hard to Swallow, because this is precursor. This is leading up to that. So you gonna see that, and then once I have my actual website, my actual page, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the social media to drive the traffic to
To the
my
website.
page.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to buy straight from me. That's the only way that independent artists, basically when it comes to physical copies of something, that's the only way you're going to be able to make some money. Unless merchandise, of course, your merchandise. You got to have you some merchandise. Sync licensing. You know what I mean? Your song being on commercials or TV shows or movies. That's great money for some of these artists, man. You see cats like the Migos and shit like this on these commercials and doing these commercials. Man, that's big money for them cats. You know what I mean? More money than they would be making just off of motherfucking streams.
Yeah.
That stream shit ain't shit. How can you break a penny down
Yeah. Nah. It's
into all of them goddamn fractions of
fractions
pennies?
of a yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck kind of game is these people running?
Yeah.
You giving the artist fractions of pennies. Okay, where the rest of the money going? To the company. You own your shit, but they making all the goddamn money.
Of course, and they make the rules to say this is how we go
Exactly,
decide to give
man.
you this piece of amount of whatever. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah. Like
bro.
you say, where the rest of it going? Yeah, somebody got
This
to
is
have it.
why we have to own 100% of our sales.
Yeah, yeah,
This is why we have to crawl before we walk before we run. We have to learn what it is that we need to do to make sure that the artists themselves is on top. You know, you own 100% of yourself and you doing it independently. Guess what? It's on you. It ain't on the motherfucking companies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you make a little now, but if you keep on doing your research and keep on doing the things that you do, you will eventually make a decent amount of money where you can say, man, I'm doing all right at some point in time. But the grind is relentless.
Yeah.
You know, if I had the time in the day to do it all the time, where I could say, you know, like Chuck D did when he first started doing music. He say, man, if I can make $2,000 a month off of this music shit, I'll do it 24/7. And once he started making $2,000 a month steadily on music, that's all he did. But it took time
To even get to that point.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
took time. And, you know, Chuck and Flav were DJs, man. Ludacris, he was a DJ. That's why he was able to come up, because he was in the radio station and he was also an artist. So if you a DJ at the radio station, shit, you gonna play your own shit. You may have to run it by the
Program director.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you talk it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You on the radio now. In ATL.
Yeah.
You can't help but win.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say, you know, I get to the point where I'm in the right people's faces. And I just let God map out the road. Get in the right people's faces, man, the things will fall into place. You know, I didn't want to go to Bun and say, hey, Bun, put me here, put me there. You know what I'm saying? No. Because guess what? When they was grinding, nobody told them, hey, you need to be here, you need to be there. Nobody told them. They had to learn the hard way.
That, yeah.
And they got it with no Vaseline, like Cube said. They had to learn it, man. And when you in that situation, and we grown now, and we get to see, be like, man, I you know, if I really need something from my brother, he gonna be there. Period, point blank. And vice versa with me. If he need me for something, that's what it is. You know, me and Bun ain't never had no problems, and never will. You know, I respect him to the utmost, because what he has done for this brand, he has kept that name alive because of his reputation alone. And Pimp being who he is. Because Pimp still, get played from here to LA, anywhere, at any time, and still get the respect, and he's only here through spirit now. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I have to keep it 100 the way that I know how, as far as being a true underground king. You know, Bun has, he has made it above ground. He is an underground king, but he has made it above ground. I'm still the true meaning of what that is. Underground grinding, still trying to rise above. You know, at least, keeping your head above water, like Good Times say. You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm treading. But I wouldn't have it no other way right now, because I know where it's going. And I'm glad that I took the time to be able to be patient to get there. Because a lot of people would have been quit, man. Shit, I'm 47 years old. You know, a lot of people was like, man, why are you still... Well, I say because that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
And you never get too old.
You never get tired of doing what you love.
You never get too old to express yourself, however you do it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna hear what you saying and they gonna love it.
And the other thing too is, I be telling people like, man, we seeing older artists in hip hop,
Absolutely.
but this is the first generation of hip hop. This is the first time we get to see, Bun talks about being a grandfather. This is the first time we get to see somebody say, I'm a grandfather, I'm a hip hop legend, and all that shit is cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like an aspiration. Like I look at Bun like, damn, I want to be that cool when I'm a grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Like,
man. Absolutely.
it's new standards being set. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Every day we wake up is a blessing. And to be able to say, hey man, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and now I'm a grandfather and I'm this, man, it's an accomplishment. Everything that you do, especially when it's positive, that's an accomplishment.
Definitely.
That's something really to brag about. Not put it in the face like that, but brag about, be like, hey man, this is what has happened to me from sticking with it. You know what I mean? Nothing but positive thing. Everything ain't gonna be 100, but you got to go through all that shit to get to the 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it builds up our character, man. For real. What won't kill you will make you stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And smarter.
Definitely. Well, man, this been real dope, man. You got any last words, man, before we get up out of here?
Man, I just wanna thank you for the opportunity, fam. Especially how it happened, because most interviews don't, happen like that.
This was real organic. When you say organic, how things happen, this was so organic, man. And like I was telling them, like I had him on my list. I got a whole list of people, you know what I mean? People
Right.
ask me, when you gonna get this one? When you gonna get to anybody y'all asking about, I guarantee you, if I ain't talking to them, I'm talking to them and they on my list. You know what I'm
Right
saying?
on, right
Michell
on.
Queen was on my list, being a founding member of Underground Kings, U.G.K, my favorite personal group, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of all time. You know what I mean? I had to do this. I've seen you on the Pimp C DVD, the U.G.K DVDs. I've seen,
man.
and I've always said, man, I want to meet this dude. You and Pimp at I guess it was your house. Y'all
that's my
chopping it
pad.
up and y'all showing out. You had all the old music and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that. I'm like, man, this is somebody I want to meet. You know
That
what I mean?
whole, I think I showed that Crown bag. That was a half a gallon bag full of cassette tapes.
Yeah.
That certain bag don't have nothing but unreleased U.G.K music in it.
Yeah.
Nothing but unreleased music.
Yeah.
I have a lot of music, man. And a lot of it is going to see the light of day.
Yeah. And when you say you're going to drop the project?
I give it about a month or two at the most. I'm really just tying up loose ends right now, man. Like getting my artwork together. I'm hitting up my man with my artwork, DA from the Black Monks, man. Need to get with him too, man. Boy, DA, boy, ain't nothing to play with, man.
Yeah.
You remember the Black Monks?
I know about
right?
that. Yeah, man. My cousin 3-2 was in the Black Monks.
Yeah. So okay, so
Yeah.
I see. I see 3 in you there. I see it too. Goddamn, boy. I love that nigga there, man. That 3 was bad. Boy, we had a good time. That boy,
Okay,
me and that boy there.
one 3-2 stories. I know we finna run out of time on the tape,
Yeah.
but let's get a 3-2 story in before we close it out.
Oh man. Let me see which one I want to tell. Weed. 3. I'm in the studio with 3, and we in Dallas Sound Labs, and it was me and Bun, and 3 looked at Pimp, and he looked at me like, man, I'm finna freestyle this shit, man. I can't write what them niggas wrote to this shit. I'm finna freestyle it. I say, well, 3, I mean, all you gotta do is sit, man. Nah, I'm finna go freestyle this shit. And he went in there, man, and freestyle, man. Everybody was in the booth with it. Me, Pimp, Bun, J. Will, Tang, my brother, Brandon. We were all, Leroy, DJ Bird, we was all in the booth with 3 while he was doing his part, man. 3 was just a breath of fresh air to be around, man, because his persona, he was not trying to be nobody else but who he was. And that's exactly who 3 was. You got 3 too when you saw that boy. You got 3 too. And every time I met him, it was nothing but genuine love, man. Genuine love. Just a great spirit, man. Great dude. Never had nothing bad to say about him or Big Mike, man.
Yeah, Big Mike, another legend. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But them two boys, man, I freestyle a lot with them cats.
Yeah.
And I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, cause freestyling with them, you had to have
them
your
boys,
shit
you
together.
talking about two rappers, man.
Yeah,
two real
you,
rappers.
you
Yeah,
had
them
to
boys,
have
yeah.
your shit together. You know, I'm in the weed room with Chad, Bun 3 and Mike and Smoke D, you know, and Bun and we all doing our thing, and then we, you know, it get to me. Sometimes I get nervous. You know, I ain't afraid to admit that, but in my nervousness, it prepared me because I never messed up. You know what I'm saying? When I know when I get nervous, when I get ready to freestyle, I know in my nervousness I'm not gonna mess up.
Yeah.
If I don't get nervous, yeah, I'm a fuck up. I'm a fuck up. Yeah. But yeah, man, them boys taught me a hell of a lot, man, when it comes to writing, stories. You know, like, you know, Chad would always tell me, say, man, you write similar to how Mike write, you know, and that's good, you know. Say your storytelling is kind of like Mike's, and that was a compliment to me, you know, because I never looked at it that way. But for him to tell me that, I was like, man, that's all right there. Shit, I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not a bad person to be compared to, man. But hey, man, man, it's been an honor, man, chopping it up with you, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through, man. It's like I said, been a real honor. I've been watching U.G.K, man, a long time. You know what I'm saying? You in particular, especially when the DVDs started coming around.
Right.
And that really started to pique my interest. I started learning about, well, it was two other members in this U.G.K group before. It was, you know, all that, man. So, you know, it's been a real honor, man, and a pleasure, man, to have you come through, man, and chop it up.
Man, anytime you need me, man.
Yeah.
Give me a call, man. You got my number now, shit. You need something, I can help you with it. Let me know. I'm on deck, man. Like Pimp would say, I'm on deck, man. Let me know. It's good. When you come to PA, let me know ahead of time. I got you. It's good.
Bad. Before we get out of here, you want to give your social media and everything where everybody can reach you?
Man, I'm on Twitter. I guess, Twitter. That's That's Big Mitch of U.G.K. And my Instagram is Big Mitch U.G.K. You can find me on Facebook too, either Michell Queen or Big Mitch of U.G.K. You know, I'm pretty much on all those things. All, you know, my albums are on all digital outlets. You know, in a minute I'll have more physical copies and posters and stuff like that you can grab. That's gonna be on my my website in a couple of months. I'm in the process of putting that up right now, getting it designed. So you really want to touch me? I'm on. You know, a lot of people don't do the Facebook as much no more, but I'm always on Facebook or on Instagram, so you can catch me on either one of them at Big Mitch or U.G.K. Just hit me up, man. You want something, you want some music or whatever it is, you know, I can help y'all with. Just let me know. Big Mitch always on deck.
That's what it is, man. And I'm Donnie Houston. Make sure you check out that new website, man, DonnieHoustonWorld.com. Pre-order that new merch. Like I say, we got the shirts, different colors, man. You can see it all on there. You know what I'm saying? DonnieHoustonWorld.com, DonnieHoustonWorld.com/merch. Pick you up some merch. I appreciate everybody watching, supporting. Make sure you subscribe if you ain't subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Tell your people to subscribe. Share the episodes. Share the channel. Everything, man. I'm Donnie Houston, Michell Queen, Big Smoking Mitch, man. Hey, man, it's the Donnie Houston Podcast. We out.
U.G.K all day.
Donnie Houston.